Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you have never seen me before, my name is Rilo. Hi, welcome back. Great to see you. Today, as you can tell, I already have my base on, so we are going to do how to do a cut crease. Yay! Woo! Cue the applause. So, I love cut creases. Cut creases and like dark eyeshadows are like my comforts, you know? Like those are my go-to whenever I don't know what to do. So today's gonna be fun. If you don't know how to do a cut crease, let me teach you how. There are so many different ways to do a cut crease, but the way that I will show you today, I'm gonna show you two different ways how to do a cut crease. But these are just the way I do it. There's not necessarily a right or wrong way to do it, but this is the way that I do it and how I'm going to show you today. These are the 4 things you'll need in order to have a successful cut crease, in my opinion, and how I do mine and how I will show you guys today. A rounded brush. I like to get the small ones, like the smaller shaped ones. This one is from Painted. The next thing I like to use is a small angled brush, something super thin that you'd use eyeliner to do. This is for getting really sharp details, but I'll show you. Concealer and your favorite palette. Today I'm going to use 2 palettes to show you. I'm going to go over one very bright colorful one so you can really see the cut crease and how it's done, and then one I'm going to do like a nude cut crease just so you can see how different cut creases can look depending on what kind of shadows you're using. The first palette that I'm going to be using today for the colorful side is the Morphe X Mirrored Duxbury palette. It has lots and lots of colors, and I will showcase how to do a cut crease with those colors. And then the second palette that I'm going to be using today is the Full Fantasy collection by Manny MUA and Laura Lee. This is going to be more of our nude kind of look on the other eye. So I'm gonna get you all close and personal. So first thing, I already prepped my base. So I put my eye primer down, my Morphe eye primer. I put concealer, and then I solidified it with just a shadow. I just set it in place. So that's what I have on my eyes currently. I'm gonna bring you in here. So first you're gonna take your eyeshadow that you want to do. I'm going to do, gosh, this is a hard decision. I don't know if I should do blue or pink. Let's do both. Okay. So, like normal eyeshadow, whatever tools you use in order to do your eyeshadow will be used to get this look. It's just placement that will be different. So you're going to take your first shade. I like to go lightest to darkest on my eye. So I'm going to take a blue shadow and I'm going to place it right above my eye crease. So just mapping out, really getting that pigment in right there. And you want to follow kind of the natural hood of your eye. So I'm going to go along this sort of like flick line on my eye. And this is my lightest color that I will be going in with. So it's okay if it's not too pigmented. And then I'm going to go in with a darker blue right underneath that. And I'm just taking a very small brush to get all of this in place. And I will be using just the same couple of brushes to really get this look. down. Sorry, I keep turning away. I have my mirror over to the side here. Just diffusing those edges a little bit. Okay, and now taking my darkest blue, and then I'm just going to focus it right at the very base of the colors that we put down. So just right here, and really take your time blending it out. I'm just gonna take a fluffy brush and kind of blend all those colors together just a tad bit. Not to blend them together, just blend them out on the edges and have that seamless look. Mostly the edges and that darkest color. That is our blue. Now, I did mention I'm doing both pink and blue, so I'm going to go in with another small brush, and I'm going to take my lightest pink shade, which actually doesn't look like there's many in this palette. So I'm just going to take that pink color and I'm going to put it on the outside here. So just starting out very, very lightly, and then blending it together with the blue just a tad. It will make purple, so no need to get scared of blending your colors together. That is a very, very pigmented pink, honestly. I'm just gonna put some more down on the bottom, a little bit heavier hand, so we can really see that gradient. So we get like a darker pink sort of color. Now taking another fluffy brush, just going to diffuse those edges on the pink. Okay, and this doesn't have to be perfect. So, as you can see sort of where I'm planning on doing my cut crease, and I'm not putting any shadow down here, so there is less pigmentation for me to fight when I conceal and really try and get that sharp cut crease. Okay, so I'm just gonna add just a tiny bit more pink. So this is my colorful side. So now we're going to take our concealer. This is just the Tarte Shape Tape. Any concealer works. And you're going to take your flat brush. So you're gonna follow your natural crease with my hooded eyes. It's going to be a little bit different, but the best way. So you're gonna follow the natural crease of your eye and just go a little bit above. So you're really getting that full effect cut crease and it's not getting lost when you're looking out, kind of anything like that. So I have my little applicator concealer and I'm just gonna take the flat brush. And if you don't know where the natural crease of your eye is, what you're gonna do, you're gonna put the concealer right by your lash line. And you're gonna just look up. See? And then it creates just a little line that you're going to follow, and then you're gonna swoop it outwards. So I'm gonna just go through this, and I'm just gonna follow my line, and I will be back here in a second. don't be afraid to just practice this placement, because I have been doing cut creases for a little bit. It won't be this smooth your first time. It's okay if it's messy, it's okay if you need many tries. You're never gonna get it the first time, and that's okay. So taking it, I'm just going to make that little swoop back up. Then I'm going to fill all this in with my concealer. See the color just depositing into the concealer? I'm just trying to wipe it away. Just a tad bit. So a little bit smoother of a line. This is the way that I typically do my cut creases. Okay, so this is the start of our cut crease. It's just the outline. Now we're going to take our small angled brush, and we're just going to clean up that line that we made with the flat brush. So back with the concealer, you just need a tiny, tiny bit. So I'm not even going to touch the top of the applicator. I'm just going to touch right here where it's just a little bit, and take some off, really. So you have a tiny, tiny bit of product on your brush, and now this is where I like to get my line super, super sharp. So any mistakes or imperfections I have, I just go back with this lighter brush and I just smooth all of those out. Again, there's no right or wrong way to do a cut crease. This is just the best way I've been able to figure it out. And this is how I do my cut creases whenever I do them. Perfect. To me, that just makes the sharpest little edge, and I really just can't go without both of my tools. So now that we have wet concealer, we have to go in and set it. So it's not just kind of all over the place. I'm just gonna take a fluffy brush and I'm just going to pat in that concealer. There's no product on this. Just really smooth out that concealer. Try not to touch the line you just made, just avoiding that little line. Okay, perfect. And now that concealer, it's still wet, but we're gonna go in, same palette, Meredith Duxbury, this one in the shade Crumpet, and we're just gonna set the concealer in place. And this is where you wanna go all the way up to that line, but try and keep right on the line. This is the toughest part in my opinion, because I tend to mix my setting eyeshadow with the color eyeshadow. So I'm just gonna pat it in, set it, so we have a nice base. Perfect. Now, this is where you can go in with an eyeliner right along that line just to make it crisp, to make it pop. But I just like to do an eyeliner like normal from here, or if you want to add in some color, honestly, it is up to you what you do from here. But this cut crease is now ready for the next step. So let's move on to our nude eye. So I'm gonna use the Full Fantasy palette for this as well. And I'm going to just do a brown smoky eye kind of look on this eye. In my opinion, this one is a little bit easier just because you can get a little bit more messy with it. But I'm going to take Besties and I'm just going to make that initial shape just as we did on the other eye. I like to get a little bit messier with this, but I still like to go lightest to darkest, bringing that lightest color all the way up. not up to your eyebrow, but up where your eyeshadow tends to just stay. Make sure you diffuse out those edges. I'm going to use the same brush for as much as I can before going into a smaller brush. So I can show you it doesn't take many tools in order to achieve this look. Okay, with my lightest shade down, and I have that little, you see how the flick stays the same? You don't want to go up and through your eyebrow just for a basic cut crease, but still having that shape for when you're putting your concealer down. Okay, now I'm going to go in with a darker brown. I'm going to go in with Not My Vibe. I'm going to put it right underneath that first shade. Again, this one can be messier. As you can see, I'm getting it all over the place. I'm just really mixing it in. Mixing, blending it in. I'm just gonna go in with a fluffy brush and diffuse those edges up top so we're not making too harsh of a line, where it should be nice and fragile, like dainty on the very top. I don't know a better way to explain that other than dainty. Okay. Now I'm going to take a smaller brush, not necessarily a detail brush, but taking just a smaller, just like a smaller brush, and I'm going to go in with, I'm just going to go in with What's Going On as the darker brown, and then going underneath those two colors that I already have set down. And as you can see, I like to drag it just so I can make kind of like a plan on where exactly I want to put it. Some people would do it differently, but that's how I find it the easiest, to just drag that shadow so there is just a plan in place. And don't be afraid to just work it in, because blending is not an easy task, but you do want to make your eyeshadow seamless. Okay, same thing, I'm going to take that fluffy brush, where'd it go? And then just kind of go over all of it to really diffuse that bottom color. And then those top edges one more time. Okay, notice how we're sort of getting the same shape on each eye. That is the goal. Okay, now same thing, we're going to take our rounded flat brush that still has some concealer on it. We're going to take our concealer and we're going to get product on our brush one more time, and we're taking from the top, just grabbing quite a bit of product. And now the only difference that we can really do, so I guess backing up a little bit, another way you can do a cut crease, so if you still can't find where to do it, just on your lash line right there, what we can do, we can grab a makeup remover. I like the Neutrogena, just makeup wipe. And what we can do If you have like a sharp nail or brush, I'm just gonna use the opposite end of the flat brush. It's pointy enough. Just take it and then cover it. And then you're just going to take off all your makeup in that area. So this is the second way you could do a cut crease. I know that like P. Louise has a cut carver that is a lot easier to use. It can be used with a brush and kind of everything like that. So you're just taking away the shadow in that area. See where I'm still following that line? It's not going to be perfect. We're going to make it perfect with the concealer and flick it out. See how we just have the general shape? And now going in with the other side where I still have my concealer on it. I'm just gonna let that dry real quick. And then going with the concealer, last time just on the eyelid or right on your lash line, and then following that line. I don't necessarily like to do it this way just because I feel like my primer on my eye is taken away as well, and I don't like to reapply my primer just because I find it's just a little bit more difficult when you already have product on your eye. So this isn't a way I prefer personally. I like the first way better, but try out different techniques and different styles because you never know what's going to work for you. And then flick it up. Also, as you can see, this one is higher than this one. It is okay to not have perfect on each side because they're always going to be sisters, almost never twins, and I have just come to Jesus with that fact, and that's okay. So just putting all that concealer under everything, we're all good and amazing, and then we're going to go in with that liner brush again and just really make those lines crisp. So again, just right on the side, very, very small amount of product. And if you get too much, I just like to wipe it off on the applicator part. So just very little. You can even like take some concealer from here and then just go through with whatever concealer you get from there too. Goodness gracious. Perfect. And then again, just going in with like a fluffy brush. I'm just gonna pat in that concealer, avoiding that line I just made. Just getting rid of any excess and blending out that concealer just a tad bit. And then setting that concealer in place. Again, going all the way up to the line with your light shadow. Really avoiding the previous eyeshadow we did up top so we don't mix it in. I could have flicked this up just a little bit more. Actually, I'm probably gonna do that. Even though it's already set, it's okay to go back in. I'm gonna go in with my flat brush. It still has product on it. And the reason I flick up is for that lifting effect on your eyes, and just really brings attention to your eyeshadow look, which is very, very nice. And I'm going with my liner brush to really clean up that edge. I'm itchy. It's okay. Okay. And then, where'd my fluffy brush go? Fluffy brush. Set in that concealer. Then I'm just taking my finger and blending out this extra concealer into my makeup. I don't know if it actually does anything, but I just tap to try and not have such a harsh edge from that concealer. Yeah, I guess I feel like this is more prominent because I feel like I took off the makeup here. So I already have my base on, as you can see. That's one of the reasons I don't personally like it, but try it out. See if it's something that would work for you. But these are my two looks. And then I'm just going to do some final touches and I will be right back. Here is the final look. I did some under eye shadow, popped on my lashes, and then just did a simple wing line, and we can see how my wing liner just goes along with this little flick of my cut crease to finish the look. What do we think? Well, this is the end of the video now. Sad day. I had so much fun doing this one. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and tell me what color I should do next. If you want to see more in depth on how to do a cut crease, different kinds of cut creases, different like shapes, I've been wanting to explore those. Let me know down in the comments and let me know if you like this video, because I don't know unless you guys tell me. Tell me you like my videos and I'll keep putting out content like this, because I am just having so much fun, honestly. But don't forget to follow all of my socials, all Rilo_LaFay. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Share this video with someone who you think needs to learn how to do a cut crease, because they are so easy, so simple, and they just look phenomenal on whatever kind of eye you have. So, yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.